Good morning. I hope you can hear me. And I'd just like to welcome you to Brazil. We are currently in the city of Fortaleza. And Fortaleza is the capital of the state of Ceará, here in the northeastern part of Brazil. And for those of you that haven't watched my previous videos, there is a card up here, check it out. It's basically about my journey, just the challenge of even getting to Brazil these days, during this pandemic. In that video, I was explaining how I've been stuck in Norway, for over 2.5 to almost 3 months, just with cancelled flights and all the struggles that you have to go through, with the PCR tests and antigen tests and all of that, all of the paperwork and testing that you need to actually have in order just to travel nowadays. It's quite amazing, actually. But I made it. I'm here in Brazil, and I would have loved to actually uploaded this video much earlier. However, it's been quite a challenge and quite an interesting story ever since I set foot on Brazilian soil again. Basically, I landed here in Brazil roughly 3 weeks ago. The day after I landed, they announced a nationwide lockdown in the country, which basically means that all non-essential businesses are not allowed to operate. They're all closed. Essential business such as petrol stations, convenience stores, supermarkets, pharmacies, and also Home Depots, like all construction shops, they're allowed to operate. Apart from that, it's all closed. They even have restrictions on traveling between cities and between towns. So basically what they want you to do is just stay at home, not even go outside. So all restaurants, all bars, everything, as you might imagine, are just closed. It's not happening. So there's not a lot going on. For my own sake, it's not really been an issue because I do have a business here in Brazil. I do run like a small bed and breakfast, and one of the consequences of actually being away from that business that long was when I got back, there was actually a long list of things that needed to, of repairs and improvements and maintenance. There was just a lot of issues that had to be addressed straight away. So I've been really busy, addressing those issues, and that is also the reason why I haven't really uploaded any videos earlier. Now, like I already mentioned in my earlier videos also, I would have loved to uploaded at least one video per week, which is my ultimate goal, for this channel. However, these are unprecedented times, and there is just so much going on, and so many issues, so many things that require my immediate attention. So I really haven't had the time to upload anything before today. So my apologies for that. I hope you do understand. And my channel is still, it's so young, it's still so new, so I think it won't really be a problem. But anyways, I'm here now. I'm really happy for that. I actually made it, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit of what's been going on these last couple of weeks. So first of all, it's Fortaleza, or even the state of Ceará, where we're currently at. It's famously known as the Sunshine State. They call it the land of the sun, or the land of the light, Ceará, Terra da Luz. But as you can see, it's cloudy. It's actually raining. It's not a problem yet. Still just a light drizzle, but we are in the middle of the rainy season, and it is raining. And that is another issue that I struggle with every single year, especially at the bed and breakfast, because everything works, everything's fine and dandy, everything's painted, everything's beautiful. Then the rains come and it really just literally destroys a lot of my stuff. Especially when you get these torrential rains. It rains really hard, and things start to flood. You have the all the pumps and for the pool and electrical stuff. Stuff just gets flooded. We had leaks, water leaks in the roof, in the ceiling, stuff like that. And it's every year, it's every single year. And unfortunately, the way things are constructed here, it's not to the standards that we're probably used to in the back at home. So it is like a yearly thing, and I've been running this business for 10 years, and every single year when it rains, I do have the same issues. So I'm very much prepared for it, and it's like already part of the budget, the yearly budget, these sorts of repairs. However, because I've been away for that long, usually as soon as something breaks, I can address it, I can repair it. Since I've been away for that long, these things have just been piling up, and although I do have my staff, who usually can address a lot of these stuff, there is the issue that some of these things that I really need to be there, I really need to be present to address those kind of problems. Now, that being said, as well, as we are in the middle of the lockdown, we haven't been able to run the business. We're not allowed by law to receive any guests since there is a lockdown, since people can't basically even travel between towns anymore. So that has been like sort of like a blessing in disguise, if you want to call it that, because all of these problems we haven't had any guests staying out at bed and breakfast. So it really hasn't been like a problem per se, that it hasn't affected any of our clients or anything like that. So I guess that's a good thing. But anyways, so this is basically how it is. Usually it clears up at the end of the day. It's usually morning rain. It kind of rains a lot at night and into the early mornings, and then after the afternoon, usually it starts to clear up and we get some blue skies again. So that's basically the routine here during the rainy season. So basically, almost since day one, actually, when I arrived here in Brazil, I immediately started to address some of these problems that we had at the bed and breakfast, but as we actually fixed one problem, another problem would reveal itself. So it's just being piling up. So I figured, since we do have the lockdown and we're not allowed to receive any guests, I figured, well, if we're gonna do it now is our chance. We do it properly. So apart from having actually a water pipe burst inside one of the walls, where we actually had to break through, the wall, break the ceramic tiles in the walls, and just make a huge hole, fix that problem, we figured, okay, we're gonna just tear down everything else, we're gonna redo the entire room. So we have like 2 totally refurbished brand new rooms now. Also at the kitchen, we found some issues there, that the floor tilings they would become loose. So I figured, okay, we're gonna just pull the entire floor, all the tilings, and we're gonna put new flooring, and to just repaint the entire kitchen, just make everything brand new. So that has been taking some time as well. And apart from that, there's just like small maintenance stuff, just the usual stuff. But yeah, it's been like a really huge project, and that's what's been keeping me occupied these days. I'm currently now not in Paracuru, which is just an hour's drive here from Fortaleza. This is where I have my bed and breakfast, my business. We're now in the big city of Fortaleza, the capital of the state of Ceará. And the reason I'm here, I usually come here every single weekend. So I do have like a legitimate reason for being here in Fortaleza. and that is because of this lockdown. You know, a lot of people, obviously, you're not allowed to really travel. You're not allowed to, you know, get out of your house. You basically, what the government is asking people is just to stay at home. And of course, this creates issues because, you know, how are you going to spend your day? How are you going to fill up your day? What are you going to do? You know, people just get tired of just being at home. So what happens is a lot of people, they have the same thoughts as me, as, okay, maybe this is the time where we do home improvement. You know, this is the time where we fix, you know, the water leak. This is the time when we paint our house. You know, this is the time where maybe we can change out the tiling on the floor or whatever, you know. And so since the Home Depots and all the construction, you know, stores, businesses are allowed to remain open because they are seen as, you know, essential businesses, what people do is just start doing home improvement. You know, it's, you know, probably one of the best things you can do to keep yourself busy, because it's usually one of those things that you keep putting off. You know, you're just like, oh, I'll do it next year, I'll do it next year. But now there's just so, you know, it's just so limited what you can actually do during your day. So that's what people do. They start just fixing up their house. And obviously this the construction businesses, you know, the Home Depots and everything like that, they're making a killing now during this pandemic. But the issue is, especially in the small town where I do have my business, is all of these you know, all of these Home Depots and construction stores, they just run out of material. They don't, you know, they get maybe 1 truckload or 2 truckloads of materials every single week. But, you know, everybody's doing home improvement, so there's just a lack of material. There's like, I needed tiles for my kitchen. I needed some, you know, a special paint for the walls, you know. I need you know, a special cement for the tiles, stuff like that. And they're all out of stock, you know. So what do? Well, that's why I'm here in Fortaleza. That's why I go here every single weekend. I come in here on a Friday, and I'll leave. I go back again to Paracuru to my business on the Monday, and so I get all my stuff here and I go back again. But also, I'm into paragliding, you know. I like to go flying up in the mountains. I do some paragliding, and it's been such a long time since I've been flying because I've been in Norway working, you know. And in this kind of sport, you know, paragliding, which really requires, you know, a certain amount of training, you need to keep it consistent, you know. And it's been such a long time, so I really need to keep it, to keep practicing, you know. I need to get back into flying, or it's just gonna create some issues for me, you know, down the line if I'm away for it too long, you know. It's like a pilot, you know, a pilot in flying an airplane. You know, you need to keep a certain amount of flying hours, consistency, keep flying, or, you know, you basically need to do your like a refresher course, you know, again. So that's a reason also why I come here, and maybe I'll get in a couple of hours on a Saturday and the Sunday, and then I'll go back on Monday. So that's basically the reason why I'm here in the big city. So I'd like to show you just some footage of me. This was actually shot yesterday when I was just leaving Paracuru. Today is currently a Saturday, and this was shot yesterday on a Friday. I was coming in the evening into Fortaleza, and when I was leaving Paracuru, you can actually see the checkpoint that I'm coming into this checkpoint, and they actually stop. Basically, they stop everybody coming into the town, and what they do is they ask for your documents. They ask for a proof of residence, if you actually are a resident in the town where I have my business. And it's either a proof of residence or a proof that you have some really essential business going in there, like either if it's medical or, you know, if there's some other essential business. But if you cannot prove that, if you cannot, you know, show the papers or prove that you actually have anything to do in that town, they will ask you, they will tell you just to turn around and go back to wherever you came from. And but if you can prove that you are a resident and everything is in order, what they will do then is they will just take a temperature check, and just to check that you're healthy, that you don't have any symptoms of the coronavirus. If you are all healthy and ready to go, they will let you pass. If you do show signs of a fever, I'm not exactly sure what will happen, but I've heard stories from, you know, others that they will actually hand you over to a medical staff. They will put you into isolation and you need to do a corona test. If it is negative, they will let you go home so you can recover at home. If it is positive, you know, I think I'm not actually sure exactly what will happen, but I can imagine that will put you into isolation somewhere. But anyways, so that is basically how it works, and they have these checks coming into all of these different municipalities and different towns around the state of Ceará, and I think the rest of Brazil also. So after that, I decided just to shoot a time lapse, you know, going all the way from Peruíbe to Fortaleza, and I thought that would be cool. And I was actually just pulled over by it's just like a normal police check. You know, sometimes they just stand in the middle of nowhere and they just you know, wave me in, ask for my documents. It's kind of a shame it was put on like a time-lapse mode. I didn't really want to, you know, mess around with my camera and put it into, you know, just like normal film shot mode. But they will probably have seen the camera and asked me to stop filming or, you know, delete the footage. But anyways, no, all they did was just ask for the documents. They asked where I was going and what business I was attending, asked for the documents for the car, and then everything was in order. They let me go. So basically that was it. And then coming into the big city of Fortaleza, again, this is sort of, you know, a different story, because they can't stop everybody coming into the huge city of Fortaleza, because I mean there's like just like hundreds of cars coming in every single hour, and if they would stop everybody, it would just be like a big huge gridlock. So what they do, they just do like sporadic checks to check if everything's in order. I've actually never been stopped coming into the city of Fortaleza. I don't know if I've been lucky, but at this yesterday, at that particular time when I was coming into the city yesterday, you can actually see that they were doing the checks leaving the city. So sometimes they do checks coming into the city, sometimes they do when you leave the city. It all depends, you know. But anyways, I just sailed straight through that checkpoint, and there was no issues at all to speak of. So that's it. I mean, I'm here, I'm back in Fortaleza. It's a Saturday. My plan for today is, well, it's currently 8 o'clock in the morning. I already had my breakfast, my coffee, and the plan is just to see if this weather will let up, if it will stop raining, and maybe I'll go up and do some paragliding. If it doesn't let up, I'm probably gonna try and get all of my supplies that I need for my hotel, and get that over with. And yeah, if it's not flyable today, it's not flyable. What can you do? You know, the weather gods will do whatever they want. So that's basically it. So that's basically my plans. Oh, I'm getting a haircut at 1 o'clock. So that's basically what's been going on now. You're gonna ask, haircut, that's probably non-essential. Well, you're absolutely correct. I'm quite lucky though. I have one hairdresser that I've been using for roughly 7 years now. He's an He's an older gentleman here, living here in Fortaleza, and yeah, he does an awesome haircut. He's the one I've been using forever, so I do have his number, and he's agreed to let me in the back door and do you know, cut my hair more or less privately. So he's a good guy. I can count on him, you know. So if you have the right contacts, you know, you can kind of get away with stuff as well, I guess. But it's not really by the books as how the government wants you to behave. But anyways, that's I've known this guy for so long, you know. We wear a mask, we take our precautions, you know. I actually did forgot to mention that I actually did you know, I did both a corona test when I got here, and I also did like I think it's called like an antibodies test, you know, just to see if you actually had it for the last 2-3 months, you know. If the what they do is just like a blood test, and they see if you have like antibodies in your system, which basically means you already had the virus, and it's your body's you know, it's created antibodies to fight it off. Both of those tests came out negative, so I'm, you know, it's like, at least I know that I'm not going to be spreading this disease. And apart from that as well, I'll probably show that in another video, that they are really good here. You know, you come to the supermarkets, they will always do your temperature checks. They have like how you call it, like alcohol sanitizer, you know, everywhere, so you can you know, wipe your hands. Food delivery, for example, like here we have iFood, and also have the Uber Eats, you know, that sort of stuff. They're also making a killing here. It's quite amusing to see here at night. They run around on their motorcycles, and they have like their small backpacks on the back of their motorcycles, and just see them buzzing around all night long, and it's quite amusing. And I'm pretty sure they're making a killing, because of obviously all the restaurants, they're actually functioning just like normal. They're just not allowed to receive any guests, so they use all of these Uber Eats and iFood and Rappi and all these other you know, businesses that deliver food straight to your door. So it's quite convenient, because you just download one of these apps and you get that entire menu. You can browse all the restaurants around, especially here in Fortaleza. There's so many good restaurants, there's so many options here. It's one thing that I really miss, you know, in the small town of Perkuru where I have my business. That's also one of the reasons I love to spend the weekends here in Fortaleza, because it's just it's an amazing city to go out and eat and drink and meet friends. And especially for me, now that I'm single as well, this is where you may meet all the beautiful Brazilian women, which is also a bonus. But anyways, of course we can't do any of that as of right now. So that's typical. I'm talking about all the beautiful Brazilian women, and I run out of memory in my camera. But anyways, it's I think it's time to wrap up this video anyways. So I mean, I hope you enjoyed this small recap of my last few weeks here in Brazil. You know, it's there's a lot going on, and I'm just trying to resolve all the issues, and my ultimate goal right now is to reopen the hotel, and you know, start getting some revenue again, because yeah, you know, money doesn't grow on trees, unfortunately. And you know, we're spending a lot of money at the moment, so we're kind of hoping that this pandemic, not the pandemic, but at least this lockdown will that they will cancel the lockdown, which is set for Wednesday. And we're quite anxious to see what they will actually do, because these last 3 weeks, usually they announce a lockdown for 1 week at a time. Come Wednesday, they will reevaluate the situation, and it's been going on like that. So they extended it 1 week, and then reevaluate, extended it 1 week, you know. And so this Wednesday we'll see if they extend it another week or if they will actually reopen. I really hope they do reopen so we can, start, planning to receive guests again at the hotel. But anyways, it's really out of our control anyway, so we just have to, be patient and hope for the best. But yeah, that's the recap of my my few weeks here in Brazil so far. I hope you enjoyed it, and in the next video I would love to take you a tour around my business, show you the hotel and everything, and what we have done, all the hard work we've been put into it the last couple of weeks, and I would love to show you that. And until that time, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and maybe even click the like button. It really helps me out, especially now in the beginning, helping this channel grow. And of course, leave some comments if there's anything, if there's anything you don't like, please tell me. And if you do enjoy it, please also, leave a comment. It's really appreciated. So that's it for me, guys, for this time. And it's the pandemic is not only here in Brazil, it's worldwide. So please, guys, be safe, take care of yourselves, and take care of yourselves and your family and your friends. And until better times, I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Ciao ciao.